Facebook with white
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Adam Frick with Folsom TV. We're out here with YK at Coffee Republic here in Folsom. He was out here at 8:30 this morning, shaking hands, kissing babies, and talking about his campaign for City Council. We're here to talk to him today and get to know YK a little bit more about his volunteerism, you know, your background and everything. But I'm going to go through a little bit here to kind of give everybody a little background of your life.
Sure.
Leading up to this run for City Council. So you were born into a farmer's family in a village in southern India.
Yep.
You have a degree in computer science. Education was very important for you, and that's how you were able to come to America and have the wonderful career that you have for the city, or for the state of California.
Yeah.
You were married for 22 years. Your wife Aparna is here. She's in
here.
the background. You've got two beautiful daughters and a rescue dog named Dharma. Your oldest daughter is attending Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo, majoring in computer science, just like her dad.
Yep. I didn't push though.
No? Your youngest daughter is a sophomore here at Vista Del Lago High School. You bought your first house here in Folsom in 2002.
That's true.
You're a public servant for almost 23 years, with your first beginning in government, in the Indian government in Singapore.
Yeah.
I'd like to know a little bit more about that. Of
Certainly.
course, you're with the state of California since 2008. You manage technology and support operations for statewide Medi-Cal healthcare services and beneficiaries enrollment by coordinating with all 58 counties in the state. That's kind of a little bit of background. You're currently serving as the Commissioner for Folsom Parks and Recreation. You are a board member of the American River Parkway Advisory Committee, and you're a senior manager at the California State Medi-Cal Healthcare IT Support Operations. Now, I know you've got a few more things in your past that we can bring up, but ladies and gentlemen, this is YK Shalom Shurla.
Wow, you did it.
Did I do it? So YK, thank you so much for meeting with me today. I really appreciate it, and the residents of Folsom really appreciate it. You know, what we really want to do is get a good idea of who these candidates are. It's so hard to do in a forum setting like we did at the college, to understand each candidate, what they bring to the table, and who they are. Really, I mean, what we want to do is we want to be able to connect to our candidates, and someone who shares the same feelings about Folsom that we do. So hopefully we can get that out of you today.
Certainly.
And you can talk to the residents of Folsom and get them to understand who you are. So take it away, YK. What else can we know about you? Talk to us about growing up in India.
Wow. Adam, thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And bringing us to the Folsom residents. I know this is not those 60 seconds and 90 seconds I have to finish my answer. I just want to speak from the bottom of my heart to our Folsom residents. Good morning, Folsom. This is a great weekend and a wonderful Saturday morning with a nice sunny and breezy weather. So, you guys are enjoying just a spare few minutes, watching our live talk about the Folsom and Folsom elections and who I am and what my background is, why I am running.
And one of the things I want to mention is that if you're watching this broadcast, doesn't matter if we're live or not, if you're watching the archive broadcast, post your questions down below, and someone from YK's team will get back to you and answer your questions if we don't get to them live.
Yeah. That's true. And even before I start, I just want to thank our Coffee Republic, Sunny and Brenna. They're so generous about giving this opportunity, and they're so family-friendly oriented small business here. I love small business. And as well, again, I got to go back to Adam. Adam, you're doing this with a passion.
Yes.
And I can see it. And you want the right thing for Folsom, and that's why you are giving opportunity to the Folsom residents through this process who the candidates are. So now it's going to be more about me, and you know more about me, and then you will make the right decision when the ballot comes to your house.
And I know it's a hard thing for people to talk about themselves. So I'm going to help you out, because I know that you're a giver, and you like to give and help and not you like to be in the background and not so much be in the foreground. So I know this can be this is not your comfort zone. You like to be back helping out people, serving people however you can. So we're going to try to get the real essence of YK out there today. So science and engineering. So computer science and engineering.
It is. Giving about a little bit of my background, as Adam mentioned, I was born in a small village in southern India. My parents are farmers, and they did not go to school. And they tried their best to give it to my two brothers. It didn't work out well, and my sister worked out a little bit, but did not. And after 17 years later, I was born. I'm a post baby. So when I know my wife is laughing at there, but I got to say the truth. And my parents decided, including my brothers and sisters, we have to give a good education to this kid. So that's when they pushed me hard. I realized, in a small age, how important getting a good education, and that just education is putting me in front of here.
Yep, very true.
Right? So, and I take education as pride, and I always support the youth. I was a teacher at the beginning of my earlier career, and I want to, align with the kids at basic level to teach them. If they sit on the ground, I sit on the ground to teach them. That way they can see. That's where I started seeing when I'm working with a passion, and I have to make a difference in that. So that's a little bit about my brought up, and education, as I mentioned. You said like a giving or giving, helping. When I was growing up, we had a small shop, vegetable shop, groceries.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And my mom was selling those ones, and not everyone will have money right away to pay.
Right.
When they give a small reason, we don't have money, landlord hasn't given, my mom always looks at, take this, feed your family, everything will be solved later. And when I look at their faces, that's where I see the joy and the happiness coming from them. And that's where I learned from my mom giving.
Right.
Help the people who are in need. Right? Not looking at what you're going to get later.
Right.
And I have been, digested, or it's become my DNA.
So your DNA, it's embedded deep inside.
Right. And when I was helping, I was always standing behind my mom, so that's why probably you're rightly saying I won't come out in the front, but I'm always there.
Yeah.
That's a little bit about my family. I moved to US in 2000. I'm here. I think I probably let you lead this conversation, Adam, rather than I jump around.
That's okay. That's okay. So let's talk about your public servant for almost 23 years. Now, very interesting to me that you started in Singapore. So talk to me about your experience in Singapore.
Certainly. I first started in Indian government as a class 1 officer, they call it. They have A, B, C, D. A is the top class. Usually you write an exam and you get into a class A officer. And I was there about 5 years working. I was working in revenue, income tax, and I was a young blood, and I was appointed as auditor. So I go and ask people, are you paying your income tax right, and all those. And some people, yes, most of them, yes. Some people, we have people everywhere on this earth, who wants to sneak through the loopholes. So those are the things I was putting in front of, passionate, and making them accountable to pay the taxes.
Sure.
Right? But I was a young guy, and I was going around, and over a year, we decided, me and my family, whether we can stay together. I think it is so happened in Indian government. I can't, family, me working in central government, my wife working in state, we can't stay together more than 3 years. That decided us to leave India and go to Singapore.
Okay.
And I joined Singapore government, and as you're probably hearing my words, public sector, government, I have an option to work for private sector. For some reason, my DNA was telling me, no, go to the public sector, serve the people in a bigger scale. That's how I went to Singapore. And slowly I moved to United States during Y2K, the computer challenges problem.
Oh yeah, I was working for Visa at the time when Y2K first came out.
Visa, yeah.
Yeah, and they're very interesting. I mean, everybody was testing to see what was going to happen, right? So at 12, what was it, midnight and 1 second. So 1 second after midnight,
that's right.
Visa got flooded with a bunch of people that were trying to see if that was if Y2K was going to take down the system and they could steal a bunch of money, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, you know, one thing I have to say though, I'm a computer science engineer. I know several people, when I was introducing, I said Y2K, and people say, I know the whole world was going to end, but nothing happened. I just want to politely tell them, we fixed working day and night behind the scenes, in the garages, in the offices, 2 hours sleep in a pattern of 48 hours.
Yeah.
Identifying the problems and fixing. Hence, you are not seeing it.
Yeah.
If you didn't fix it, you will see it. So I just want to give that, you know, perspective from the engineer's side, because I want to compliment the engineers who work day and night, just like you also.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's all the stuff that nobody understands, wants to see or talk about.
That's right.
They just want it to work.
Yeah.
And so he's the guy behind the scenes making it work, 24/7, 7 days a week.
Yep. Thank you. At least those days.
Yeah, in my youth, boy, I was on call. I remember for Visa for all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I had a 24/7 beeper on myself.
Yeah.
So, state of California since 2008, you've been working there.
Yep. And when I moved to 2000 here, Singapore government transferred me over to US to take over the US IT operations. We had 8 branches. I was very happy over the time. Probably that's where I'm going to talk about the Folsom, why I came to Sacramento area.
Yeah.
And that triggered me to, you know, buy a house here and join the state. Yes. And I worked about 5 to 6 departments in state. I started with corrections in Folsom itself. So again, there is a connection for my first job to Folsom here.
Yep.
And over the time, I moved around the CHP and correctional healthcare services and Department of Finance, where I learned the budgets and dollars, you know, thoroughly. And currently, I'm working for statewide medical program as a IT operations chief, managing the $14 million beneficiary information in the technology hub, working with 58 counties. It's a decently responsible job, but we have a great team at the state. It's working.
All right. So now we'll get to why Folsom? Why did you choose Folsom out of all the other wonderful communities around Sacramento? What was it about Folsom that brought you here?
I know, I got to say this, you know, love at first sight. We believe in it, whether it is with your spouse or with the school you want to go. This is a school season. People are, you know, driving around, and once they go to that campus, they may say, I like this campus. That's it. It's the first time they are seeing it, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to give that perspective. In 2002, I visited Folsom to attend my close friend's birthday party.
Yeah.
The same weekend, me and my wife and my older daughter, we were just going around. We fell in love with this community. It is a, you know, small, cute, family-oriented community. Believe it or not, the same weekend we put a deposit to buy the house. Same weekend.
Really? Wow.
That's attracted me. You know, Folsom is, you know, I got to say, I'm a proud resident of Folsom. I'm glad I made that decision.
Yeah. Good. Well, we're glad you're here as well. So what do you like to do outside of work? I mean, you've got lots of experience in government already. What do you do for fun?
I know my wife gives me usually a list of things to do during the weekends.
Your honey-do list.
Honey-do list. First, I have to give that priority.
Right.
But I'm just saying it. She's listening to me. I want to make sure I have a nice lunch box every day I go to office.
Right.
It's important. You know, I go around and I try to involve as much as possible in the community activities, because it is only good as long as the citizens are around involving and making the community better. But one thing I got to say though, Folsom takes pride in volunteering.
Yeah.
Folsom salute to you. It's everyone, the pride. I can give you a simple example. In a couple of days, we are getting the community service day. I just want to show the flyer.
On the 15th.
Yeah. Next week, around the same time, I'm one of the steering committee member. I have been working for last I was a volunteer before. I got an opportunity. And look at this, 3,000 people.
Yeah.
That's the pride of Folsom.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I'm one of those 3,000 people.
Yes.
During my leisure time, I'm probably answering.
I saw you there last year.
Last year, right? Yeah. And the other thing is, I'm a state employee, and I look around how many jobs are vacant in state.
Yeah.
Imagine, whether you believe it or not, every year over 12,000 jobs are vacant because people are retiring.
Really?
And it is reasonably complex process to get into state.
Yes.
I host last 6+ years in a public community service in the public libraries, how to get a state job workshop. Several hundred people joined it, and I focused especially on the women who has been staying home mom to get the kids to school. And once they are, then they look for opportunities. I encourage them, please start looking at state, the biggest employer in California, Sacramento region, right? Yeah. And once you are there for good.
Right.
So those are some of the things besides volunteering at 5K run, which you might have seen on the rodeos, whatever, makes a difference in the community.
Right.
I try to be there.
Yeah, I have to say, in the last couple of years, I had no idea who you were, and then all of a sudden you were everywhere. And it wasn't just because you were deciding to run; it was because I didn't. Our paths didn't cross until they finally did. And I think it was during the one of the 5K runs. Maybe it was. What is it?
Is it the Wounded Veteran Run or?
Maybe it was the Wounded Veteran, but I remember explicitly at the turkey trot.
Turkey trot.
Turkey
Yep.
trot. Yeah.
Yep.
So
I was there too.
Yeah, my buddy Todd runs that race, and you were shaking everyone's hands, giving everyone encouragement, walking around. I mean, you had your vest on, your road worker vest on, so everybody could see.
That's right.
I just thought that guy's doing it right.
That's right. As you probably, I just want to touch on that one. I was, as a volunteer, being participated. As people are seeing me in the community, they are encouraging me to take, why don't you take lead on this role?
Right.
And run with it. That's where people are seeing me more, visible.
Yeah. Very good. So, all right. Well, let's kind of talk about some of the areas of interest that you want to. That's part of your campaign.
Yeah.
So, public safety. Talk to us about continuing, our service providers to provide superior police and fire services. What if we elect you to City Council? What are you going to do to ensure that our public safety remains at the highest level?
At highest level. The way I see it is, the community is as good as the safety and security is put in place. That is the driver, either to have a great parks and kids are playing outside, or businesses are doing without any complaints, no robberies. Public safety is the top priority. And I can tell this, in I was going through all the information from the City Council. Last 14 to 16 years, our City Council is giving highest priority for public safety. It's almost like 59 to 60% of the general fund is going to public safety.
Wow.
And am I going to change anything what is happening? Probably not. But I do see some room for improvement. How? As I said at the beginning, is taking the volunteerism and the pride of the citizens. I would like to involve more citizens in the community advisory board activities, or the CERTs, or the neighborhood watch programs, and also partnering, which I think the city already has it. So many homes has the cameras installed, and registering with the city, which started at the beginning of this year. More encouraging the citizens to be part of that one, have a trusted network around the city.
Yeah.
It's not that police is going to access those cameras. A connection established.
Yeah.
If some robbery happened or some bad thing happened in that particular corner, right away cops can see it.
Yep.
So my emphasis is going to be involving more community and the CAPS program. Right now it is 60 to 70 people or 80. And can we make it a larger group? And I was knocking the doors. So far I knocked 8,000 doors. Several people said, we telework, we hardly go outside.
Yeah.
We can make use of their services to be part of our network.
Sure.
Because somebody has to be, watching our streets. As I mentioned even on our forum, we have 420 miles of streets in Folsom. Our 75 sworn-in officers can't cover all the time.
Yeah.
But making the citizens eyes and ears of the public safety is going to be my driver.
Okay. So how is that implemented? Is it their existing security systems being plugged into a master system, or is it something that the city provides the residents?
The homeowners has the security systems.
Okay, got it.
And it is a matter of just asking the homeowner in advance, establishing that connection. In case something happens, would you like to cooperate with city police?
Yeah.
By allowing to see that one camera which is focusing on your driveway.
Sure.
And covering the street.
Right, and your neighbor's house is across the street.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Getting that connection, network is more important.
Yeah.
And easing the concerns of the citizens. Police is not going to access any of those without your permission.
Got it.
You are the one who is going to show to the police.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
And not every house has these public safety. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
I was talking to Mr. Rick Hellman, the chief.
Yeah.
It's happening. But how do we make it more enhanced? That's where I am going to. And other one is also not every corner has the cameras.
Yeah.
But see whether city can work with local businesses and some grants, to help some of those residents to handshake. It's not that city is going to sponsor everything, but work with creatively. That's more important.
Sure.
So my goal is the message has to go out to the local cities. Don't go to Folsom.
Yeah.
The message has to go out to the bad guys. Don't go to Folsom.
To the
If you
criminals,
go,
yeah. You're going to get caught.
you will be caught.
Yeah.
So that's my main message. Public citizens are going to be the eyes and ears of the public safety. That's going to be my mantra.
All right. I think that's good. I mean, we obviously everybody wants their neighborhoods and their houses to be safe, so
Right.
that would just make sense.
And strengthening the neighborhood watch also.
Sure.
We have so much, so many neighborhood watch programs.
Yeah.
How we can creatively strengthen those
Right.
is my approach.
Very good. So next interest, jobs. So you have a strategic approach to attract high-paying jobs to our city and to the region. So what's your ideas behind creating those high-paying jobs and maintaining our standard of living here?
Yeah, I always start with, as I'm learning more about how the current city government is working in association with our Chamber of Commerce and Folsom Economic Development, FedCorp, and they are trying hard to bring the job opportunities to Folsom. In my observation,
And just not to interrupt you, but just so people understand. So the Chamber of Commerce supports small businesses. FedCorp, their job is to bring large businesses like Intel and other big corporations into Folsom or around Folsom to bring in the higher paying jobs. Yeah. So
especially, I was even talking to Mr. Will Kempton also. He is a part of the FedCorp. I was trying to collect the information. That's one of the probably my strengths, I can say here. So talking to people, trying to understand what's happening today is very important thing. So my approach is going to be, yes, we are trying to bring the high-paying jobs to Folsom area, and Intel is here, Micron is here, we all know. They have been here for last 25 to 30 years. My approach is going to be, can we make further attempts and improvements bringing the Silicon Valley jobs here? And my approach is going to be, we have to form a committee from the city side, city council, city manager, whomsoever is right people, in partnership with FedCorp, which is in existence, and making this as a calendared Bay Area visits every 6 months with an appropriate proposal.
Sure.
Knocking the doors of Intel subcontractors. It may be happening, but putting it as a calendared event every 6 months, this is how we are doing. Going and knocking, making the proposal.
Sure.
And looking for the response and going back after 6 months. Let's continue doing that one. At the end of the day, we are going to speak about the greatness of Folsom.
Yeah.
Great schools and public safety is high, family oriented. Let's talk about the Folsom pride and all the greatness of Folsom. At the same time, tell the Bay Area people housing is skyrocketing, traffic is nightmare, just to make them realize where they are living.
Sure.
Attracting those, some of the, at least I'm not saying they relocate to Folsom. Start with few people in Folsom. That can be Intel subcontractors or suppliers or even competitors. I'm not just saying Intel. That's my approach.
Yeah.
So making a calendared activity, have the persistence going on a continuous basis, and city has to join that, not just FedCorp. That's
Sure.
where I am. That's
Sure.
where probably the difference I think we are going to make in a big way. Yes, we can go once in a while, but it has to be a 6 months effort.
Sure, and a coordinated effort between FedCorp and the
Yes.
city, you can cover more ground
Exactly.
in the Bay Area and find those and seek out and find those companies that could thrive here in Folsom.
That's very true. Because, but I got to say this. I came here as a technologist, as an engineer. There are several, East Indian families migrated here with a strong technology background.
Yeah.
And probably I may have a more luck when I knock a door with Google.
Sure.
Sundaram is Indian origin,
Sure.
Indo-American. At least I can sense him through my culture and community. Okay, this is what you are sensing.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And some of the senior executives in the Bay Area firms are, it is so happened, Indian origin. It is easy for me to interact with them, not in the public, in the community too.
Sure.
I'm local community leader, and that gives me the pathway to approach them more smoothly.
Right.
And convince them with the strength of Folsom.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
my approach for Folsom jobs.
Totally understand that there are cultural differences and protocols and
Yeah.
and understandings.
Yeah.
That is, if you're not part of the culture, you don't understand some of the nuances of personalities and some
Yeah.
way that people respond to you. You would know.
How
you
about
would know
that?
better than I would.
It's a little easier for
Yes,
me to
yes.
sense it. When I ask
Yeah.
something, if it is in the same culture we was born and brought up,
Oh, yeah.
we all went to schools back home there,
Yeah.
right? But we are here. This is our country. How do we make it better? And my first preference is Folsom first. How do we make it, right? So those are the things. In my gut feeling, it will work. If you bring the human component to it, if somebody is consistently trying, every 6 months he's coming and putting a proposal and looking for us. Are you okay? What are you expecting? They think it.
Yep.
And one day they are open the dialogue. We have to be patient though.
Correct. I'm from Minnesota, and when we say, hey, we're gonna go ice fishing there, we're not going fishing, we're going drinking. That's what that means. So you have to be part of the Minnesota culture to understand what that means.
Right.
All right. Well, let's. So in the same sense, let's talk about education. You obviously your education is big for you. It got you from becoming a farmer to an engineer.
Yeah.
So you want to put an emphasis on high quality education,
Right.
not only in public schools, but vocational courses at Folsom Lake College.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Not as a farmer, but educationist. I was
Yeah.
meeting Mr. Roger Zittler, the Zittler Farms here.
Oh, Zittler Farms, yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed whenever I go and I talk to him so much, and he can see me as, this guy is a farmer kid.
Yeah.
Because I can navigate with him.
Sure.
Anyway,
Sure, yeah.
well, my intent is education. Mostly people think, even I got that response also when I was talking to community, education is school boards. Why city's council is giving more priority? right? But my emphasis is going to be, we do have, school board and city council, they meet 2 by 2, and I want to bring the creative ideas. At the end of the day, our kids living in Folsom. So it is the pride again, our Folsom and our kids. And Folsom schools are great though, I'm not doubting at all. They are 9 out of 10 API ranking, Academic Performance Index, great schools. But my approach is, when you take 40 kids in a classroom, not all 40 are A grade or B plus grades kids. There are few kids are struggling because of social reasons, economical reasons, for various reasons. Identifying those kids, giving them extra help in association with our local businesses, non-profit organizations, faith-based organizations. How do we help those kids? That is one. And other one is introducing the job-oriented courses early on in high schools, either at a junior level and senior level. And definitely in Folsom Lake College, I was talking to Mr. Yamamura, he's the president of Folsom Lake College, and I was asking him out of curiosity, how many job-oriented courses we are offering? 2, 3, 4, right? When I go to my hairstylist, I exchange some ideas. I ask, where did you get your hairstylist license?
Sure.
She says, Sacramento City College. People has to drive from this area all the way to Sacramento City College. And I was asking Mr. Yamamura, what will it take to open that course in Folsom?
Sure.
Opening the dialogue is my thought. It's not that we are going to invest. What will it take to open more courses in Folsom which are job-oriented? Welders, electrician. These are all the things I'm thinking about. Not everyone can go to the 4-year college.
Right.
It's expensive.
Right.
But at the same time, going to these at the community level, paying a very less tuition fee, getting into a job, then they can pursue their career of 4-year degree. That's my emphasis. Emphasis is collaborating, coordinating with the local businesses and giving Folsom kids an approach to get a better education for the job-oriented persons.
I think that's great. And what I don't think a lot of people understand is welding, electrician, woodworking, all of these can be hired on to high-tech companies.
That's right.
There's a lot of high-tech companies that need those vocations, and everyone's going for computer science or for software development or whatever, and they're missing out on a really big opportunity. So I love your approach there. I think incorporating what I'm hearing is you want to. It's not getting involved in the school. It's getting involved in programs outside of the school that can enhance their current education, or which in a lot of cases, some kids don't learn the same way as other kids do in school. That's right, with books and whatever. So giving them an opportunity outside of school, working with the Chamber of Commerce and local businesses and creating groups.
Yeah, faith-based organizations, Intel volunteer. It's happening. How do we do in a more effective way? That's all I am saying, because I have done the research. I felt it. There is a room for improvement.
Sure.
Again, Folsom is great, no doubt about it. When you see in a bigger picture, you will definitely find some improvements where I'm going to focus on.
Got it. Very good. Okay, so we talked about attracting businesses to Folsom and expand on existing ones. You want to maybe expand on how we can expand on our existing businesses, or was that the Intel example that you gave us by bringing in the contractors that work with Intel?
That is one, and making these attempts to either Intel, making the same proposals, and asking, can Intel bring one more new division they are thinking in their mind to Folsom?
Got it.
Going to their site committee and making the same proposals, right? And the small businesses is, at least once you have these high-paying job businesses, I guarantee our local small businesses is going to be boosted, because you do have a complementing business model. We have a big businesses, and with small businesses automatically be attracted, and there may be one more Coffee Republic on the other side.
Sure, right.
Very soon.
Right, I agree. Yeah, the higher paying jobs that come in just enhance the small businesses in and around, just like Coffee Republic here.
And my approach, I just want to make this also clear. Folsom can't do alone, even though tomorrow I'm going to be the city council member. The current city council, current Folsom economic development can't achieve this one. We have to partner with El Dorado Hills, we have to partner with Elgro, Rancho Cordova, our neighbors. It is very important. And that's why I'm not just thinking just Folsom can achieve this one. I'm already making the friends with El Dorado CSD, Mr. President Alan. He's recognizing where I am going.
Sure.
And the same way with the Rancho Cordova City Council, Elgro City Council, Mayor Lee and Vice Mayor Darren Soon. They were giving me the dialogue to talk with them, and they're already thinking, let's do the partnership way and reach out to the area.
Sure.
There is so much we can do together.
Right.
I just want to emphasize that it is a more regional thing, rather I can say Folsom thing, but Folsom can be the leader.
Right, yeah, we've got the 50 corridor that we all benefit, all the cities along the corridor benefit from each other.
That's
by
right.
building that up with corporations and technology and whatever else we can plug into there. Exactly. Everyone benefits.
Yep.
So technology, let's talk about technology. You want to, obviously, it's your background, you want to continue to enhance technology for city services. So what does that mean for the average user? What kind of things can we expect from for you to push through to help city services benefit from technology?
It is by and large, in my belief, being a technologist last 23 years, technology will certainly enhance the services for residents and citizens across the board. That's my belief, right? And I can give you a couple of examples.
Yeah, give us a couple of examples. How it can help us.
Even I was just water. Recently, we had challenges with our water meters.
Sure.
And we do have a drop count, a simple drop count app.
Okay.
It is. You can see how water is being consumed. But by enhancing the technology a little further, if your house water consumption is abnormal in any given hour, you can get a text.
Oh, you can.
Just like when you go to swipe your credit card, you get a text. You have a transaction.
Sure.
Same principle. If in a given hour, don't have to wait 24 hours. If you have a broken sprinkler system or something else.
Or a teenager taking a really long hour shower.
That's okay. Right? I love backyard and gardening. That you can tell, I'm a farmer's family. Sometimes I water a little extra for big plants.
Sure.
And right away my honey calls. I got to come inside. I'll drop there thinking I'll come back fast. But have to do the honey juice.
The honeydew list, yes.
Right? And I may miss that tap and I leave and water is going for next 3 hours, 4 hours. That happens, believe me. But having this simple technology, you getting a text, abnormal use in your house. Very simple text. Right away, oops. That's a simple example.
Sure.
I know we are talking about traffic and we probably may touch that one very soon. And my colleagues, who are running for City Council is already doing phenomenal job planning wise.
Sure.
And all those. And they are into execution as well. But sometimes time takes time.
Right, everything takes a little bit of time. But yeah, traffic is a big one. So this would be a great tie into a really big topic that people want to know. So,
right.
So technology, traffic, what are your thoughts on it?
Yep, and definitely, I was listening to Rob Ross the other day, his interview.
Okay.
And all the great things he is talking about doable.
Yeah.
Because, if you have a passion to serve the community, you invest your time to start the research, how we can make difference here.
Sure.
So I did the research, with the technology, we can further improve. But city is doing already though. How we can execute is probably my greater strength. Being a 23 years in public sector as a senior executive and manager, how to get the things done.
Right.
We have a plans, we have everything, but how you can pull the red tape out, let's do it.
Yes, a plan is only a plan until it's implemented.
Yeah, so that's where my strength is going to be for traffic. It's not that I'm proposing anything different than city is doing today or any of my colleagues running for the offices. I'm not going to be any different. My philosophy is how we can make things happen in a little bit faster way. That's where probably I'm going to use my knowledge. Being a state employee over 10 years, I know Caltrans senior executives. I know Department of Finance senior executives. Knocking on their door in a social talk, not public talk, while having a coffee or something, how the grants are coming from the feds, how you are using the gas taxes here. When you talk official, it is a different version.
Sure.
When you're in a social network, you know something which probably is not out there on the table.
It's the, well, off the record.
Off the record.
It's this, which is great information, because then it allows you to find new avenues or new approaches if it sounds like things aren't going the way that they should.
Exactly. Knowing the people helps. That's all I can say at the end. It is not that anybody is going to deviate. If you know somebody, the things will be slightly different for you than other persons.
Got it.
Right?
All right.
So those are the things. It's not that I'm going to be doing anything new.
Sure. It's enhancing what's already existing in the city and using some of your experiences and talents to try and push through some of these things that may have been stalled or haven't been really fully researched.
Yeah, sometimes a small push can go through it. That's where probably I'm going to bring my skills.
Got it. So with traffic, we can't talk about traffic without talking about south of 50, because that seems to be a big hot topic right now with traffic. And of course, you brought up water a little bit ago. Let's talk about traffic, water, south of 50. What if elected, can you do to ensure that Folsom stays the small town feel that we have, that we maintain enough water, and that traffic is set at a certain point where it's not inconveniencing everyone?
South of 50. I know. It's sorry for it's giggling because I have been talking last 30-40 minutes. This may be a re-energizer for me. This is what I believe in. Again, I have been doing the research. Folsom has a very strategic vision in development. I'm going to repeat these numbers. Sometimes the numbers makes more sense. In 2000, Folsom population is 53, Roseville is 70. After 18 years, Folsom grew only 20,000 more, 25. Roseville doubled. So, which means Folsom will have a very strategic approach for any new development. They take all the risks associated and they make sure the small field town, all the parks and the trails, little hubs to play.
Sure.
And also you have full service city, which means you have a Costco, you have a Home Depot, you have all the services here.
Sure.
Not many people are driving outside Folsom for any day-to-day things. Right? Having said that, that definitely brings the other component of some traffic congestion, which we talked about it, right? Mm-hmm. And people always say is how we can make it better. It's an evolving process.
Sure.
If you have a full service activities, all the Costco, and you get this one. And the same goes to other side, 52. And in my review of the 50 South development, again, the city took a very strategic approach, having those high traffic areas very close to freeway. That way people get out and get in,
sure,
rather than jamming the streets in the community.
Correct.
Right? That's the same thing, Palladio and Costco and all those. Mm-hmm. And I have a confidence on our current and past city councils. Probably I'm going to take a look at it, but the checks and balances, probably I'm going to emphasize more, being a public servant.
Yeah.
How things are happening as per the plan. Is it a 3 months or a 6 months check? Make it happen and reassess the risks we are facing.
Sure.
And whether it is giving what we want as a Folsom.
is it giving the millennials an opportunity to come and stay in Folsom rather than going somewhere else?
Right, like
Is
the city
seniors
or something like that. Yeah, are we hip enough
Yeah.
to bring the millennials here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the seniors, are they getting their full services? Can we do anything better? Even that side. So if you club all those, you can still retain your small Folsom. Yes, city is going to grow, no matter. On this earth, in a human nature, growth is unavoidable, including we when we born as an infant till today.
Sure.
Right? So that's my approach is going to be touching on the water. I did talk to our water resource director, Mr. Marcus, to understand. I think you might have heard me several times saying, I go and talk to people who are doing the work today, who are responsible for delivering the services today, because that's the right source of information for me to understand. My understanding is we do have enough water rights for Folsom.
Yeah.
Right? But that doesn't mean 4 years ago when we had a drought, people were not watering for all 5 days or all 6 days. So then people may be sending a question to me, YK, what happened for our water rights? You are saying we have enough, whereas I can't water more than 2 days.
Sure.
That one was a state governor's executive orders across the state.
Right, that was a restriction that they put on, which didn't limit our water, but it limited our use.
Use.
Yes.
Because even though we have water out there, we can't use it. And we have to be cognizant, we have to put the human nature into context also. It's even though water Folsom has it, we can use it, other people are they don't have drinking water kind of concept. But my approach is for 50 South, when we throw the numbers out there, we do have enough water from the water rights we have. Right now, the Folsom this side is using about 21, 22 acre feet. Sorry for throwing this number, 21,000 acre feet.
21,000 acre feet, yeah.
22,000, 24, even 25 in a peak.
Okay.
We have 35,000 acre feet of water rights from the water bank.
Okay.
Folsom Lake.
Sure.
So we do have a 10,000 acre feet of excess water, which definitely can serve Folsom South. The max Folsom South can use is anywhere 7,000 to 8,000 acre feet.
Okay.
Here is my point though. When there is no water in the lake, you have water rights. What good these water rights do if there is no water? What's our plan B? I'm exploring. That's where I'm going more deeper rather than talking about this. If we don't have water, we have water rights. There is no good of this paper when there is no water. What is our plan B? That's where I'm going to invest more time and see whether our plan B is executable. If we hit one more drought season.
Right.
That's
big
how
drought. Big drought. Because even the last one was pretty big, but we still on the skin of our teeth we were able to get by with water still. We still had plenty of water, even though it looked barren.
Right.
There was still several. I don't know the exact amount, but I just remember they were saying that there was still plenty of water for Folsom in that lake, even though it looked like it was barren.
Right. So I sincerely want to request Folsom residents. It's not that I'm ignoring the hot topic out there in the community about the water. I read the May 21st SACB article and I invested more time. We do have challenges. I'm not ignoring that fact at all. I just want to bring that attention. We do have challenges with our transportation and the traffic. I'm not ignoring. Anything we can do better.
Sure.
And that's where my creative mindset and technology skills are going to come into play and make things better, and use my public service interactions with the state water boards. Any grants are available for innovative things.
Sure.
Those are the things I'm going to explore. That's where I feel like I have an edge compared to my other friends running on this city council from the state side, I can say.
So one other hot topic, and it's not as big of an issue that everybody says it is, but we do have an issue, and that's the homeless issue.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from you as far as your approach to the homeless issue?
You know, I have been living one way or another an interaction with Folsom last 15, 16 years. But the last few years, it is slightly climbing up.
Yeah.
And observing, what's going on, and the community, how it is reacting. And again, I want to salute everyone living in Folsom. The pride of volunteering, make things better in Folsom. And that's why the HART, H-A-R-T organization is formed just a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
Because Folsom is right away trying to understand what are the challenges, how we can make it better. And even city also has a navigator, one of the person coming from the city. He's a navigator, and I met with her also. And I also closely work with even the local non-profits, which is Powerhouse Ministries and all those.
Yeah.
I myself is an active volunteer in HART, and trying to understand the people, who those people are, and I do, this is what I can send. I'm probably going to repeat what everyone is thinking in your mind, and the same thing is, not everyone wants to be a homeless.
Right.
At the same time, not everyone want to come out from the homeless either. I was there last Saturday at the Lions Park, just visiting them.
Yeah.
And some people, they don't want to come out from the streets.
Yeah.
That's how they are determined.
They're nomadic. They're gypsy or whatever you want to call it. They just don't want to be plugged into regular life.
Right.
Yeah.
And some people, for various reasons, they become a homeless. They are coming out, and I help, and I have been active, working with our HART program to bring, with the HART's help and HART strategy, bringing them out. Right now, in every monthly meeting, the questions we are being asked at the HART program is directly trying to address if the person is willing to come out from homeless. HART and the county resources, in collaboration with the city police and the city, we are all working to bring that crowd out from the street.
Sure.
Our police is working with them by checking, is there any danger for the local citizens because of this homeless person? They are scanning that information. I myself asked that question to our police officers. How do you know if you see a person who is homeless, how do you assess, is there a danger involved because of that person for the normal citizens? And the answer I got, which I was convinced, is police has the records, a wide variety of huge record, and they can sense through their records and data and assess, yes, we have some danger because of this person. And right away, police is acting to not to release that person to the general public. The reason, because homelessness is not a crime.
Right.
It is a chosen lifestyle by certain individuals.
Correct.
So me being personally involved, understanding and talking to the people and assessing them, probably we can definitely make further improvements. And this is where probably I'm going to say, city probably has to take a little bit more active role from today. It is doing great, and seeing if there is a small line item budgeted in collaboration with our non-profits and faith-based organizations, local businesses, together can we address this issue.
Sure.
Of course, citizens and volunteers' help is always included in those activities. It is a together work, and there is no one size fit to all.
Correct.
If something is working for a city A, that may not be the right approach for Folsom City.
Correct.
We have to assess whether it is the 50 people or 60, 70 people are here, how do we effectively address? And this is one more thing. Be more vocal and transparent on what's happening about the homeless is also important. Because I do see in the social media post so many concerns. It's probably on the city side how we can be more effective communication.
Sure. Okay. Got it. Great. So I kind of went through my topics here. Is there anything else that you'd like to add to this to let people know anything else that you stand for, that you can expect, or that we can expect from you if you're elected. You know, the floor is yours. What else is there about YK that we should elect?
You know, I want to be, you know, time sensitive. You know, thank you everyone for watching in your pleasant Saturday. And it is important, you know, anything I'm speaking, you know, people are listening and assessing, is YK the right candidate for Folsom City? That call you have to make. And my approach and my philosophy is with a service mindset and having 23 years of public as an employee in various governments. I do understand how operations happens in the government. That much I can say with, you know, with a very strong belief.
Sure.
I do know, and I do know where we can pull the red tape out and make things happen. And if there is a area, and you guys are the, you know, right people to make the call. But here is my last few statements while we are checking the time, how we are doing. We don't want to be the lengthy talk. This is certainly lengthier than the candidates forum, lifting the 60 seconds and the 90 seconds.
Right.
Adam, you might have lifted that 1,000 times by now if I could have continued this way. You know, my main motivator why I am running, me being involved more actively in the community, that inspired me to see the things different. Yes, I think we can make some more enhancements in some areas. And when I approach, again, our current city council, once I got, get the more visibility to the people, and I was studying, you know, where and how we can get better. And I was approaching our current city council members too. And it is so lucky to say this, and our current mayor, Mr. Miklos, and Andy Maureen, they have seen fire in me. Yes, he has the he wants to make it Folsom, you know, continue improving, and they have seen my love with Folsom. When I'm interacting, even our current city council member, Roger Gaylord, and he recently posted that he is very comfortable working with me. Means he has seen I am a collaborative person.
Sure.
And I was working with our Ernie Sheldon, who is also a sitting council member. And wherever I greet, he always has a good things and tips for me. Once, you know, you become a city council member, you know, how and what things, you know, you should be doing for the community.
Sure.
He coaches me also.
Okay.
But at least I got the 2 current sitting council members' endorsements, and I want to be sincerely thanking both of them for outrage coming and giving me that, you know, announcement outside. And other 2, they are very positive about me and my candidature. And they believe I'm the right candidate, even though they did not give their endorsement, but at least their positive vibes are inspiring me to run for this city council elections.
Sure.
And I know we are 12 people running. I met almost 10 of them in various occasions for coffees and social talks. I didn't meet one person. Hopefully I'm going to meet him very soon. And I exchange so much conversational talk, how we can do better, where we can make further improvements. Because from that 11 group, I'm going to be working with any of those 2. If I'm elected, 2 of them, I'm maintaining very positive, social, collaborative relationship with my colleagues running in this race. So, and my main thing, how I'm going to win this election is, people gave me, when I started, you know, announcing I'm running for office, the secret sauce to win any election, interacting with the citizen and shaking hand.
Yes.
I knocked close to 8,000 doors in Folsom so far. And the agenda I built on these are a collective agenda from the citizens.
From the citizens that you've talked to, so
Yep.
they've fed your
It is.
campaign with ideas of how to make the city better.
It is. And even though, you know, I was talking about the cameras and networking, I exchanged these dialogues with the citizens. They were on board, most of them. Yeah, I love to be part of the network. When there is a disaster, I'm happy to help our police.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you, it is not I was inventing any of this, what we have to do for Folsom. It is more about interacting and collecting. And I'm going to continue that march of knocking the doors. Most of you may be seeing me with my little flyer and with all my endorsements there. And it's a win or lose. My thing is, I'm getting so much pleasure meeting people, knowing them, and where and what we can make further improvements. And I will be continually involved in the either community voluntary activities. If all your support and God's grace, if I'm going to win, I'll be your city council member to further take this city to next level. Once again, thank you very much. And Adam is going to be releasing this one. Thank you so much, Adam.
Absolutely. YK, coming to a neighborhood near you. YK, Shalom Shalah. He's going to be knocking on your door soon, if he hasn't already, to get your input on what he can do to make the city better. YK,
yeah,
thank you so much for meeting with us today. Really appreciate it. We want to thank Coffee Republic for allowing us to take over their space. And they're actually playing lovely music here at the closing.
Yeah.
And we want to thank you for tuning in and taking the time and the opportunity to learn about another candidate for City Council, and so that you can go to the polls in November with an informed decision and strike those polls the way you should.
Yeah, certainly. Whenever you feel, my details are on social media, YK number 4 Folsom. It has my cell numbers, shoot me a text. It is important, it should be more conversational.
That's right. We'll plug his information in here. You'll be able to connect with YK through this post, as well as on his website, electyk.com.
Yeah.
Once again, everybody, thank you so much, and we will see you at the next time.
Thank you. Woo!